Okay, welcome back to another episode of Unsinkable Theory, a show where we talk about our favorite movies and moments, and at the end we will decide if they are sinkable or unsinkable. We just watched a movie about an astronaut with some huge daddy issues called Ad Astra. What do we think?
Dad Astra.
Dad Astra. Ooh.
I believe it's also one of the last Fox Searchlight movies produced by Fox before they were bought by Disney.
And I think the working title was like Operation Nuke Neptune or something like that.
I'll go right in. I liked it. I liked the. I felt like it was a space psychological thriller. Like the science seemed very grounded. I was with it through the whole movie. Like, what's going on? Seems like something fishy's going on.
Yeah.
Something fishy was going on.
I thought the payoff was just a little like, okay, well, that's what we kind of thought the payoff was going to be, and then it was just that.
It was kind of just like anticlimactic for me.
Yeah.
Especially because I was like, okay, this is a space. I was thinking the same thing, a space psychological thriller. But I was like, is it like a mystery thriller? What's going on in this movie? Right? And so I was like, finally, we're getting to the spaceship at the end with, what's his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. Old-ass Tommy Lee Jones on this spaceship. We're going to figure out what's going on, why he's doing these surges, what's happening. Because I figured it was him messing with the spaceship trying to find intelligent life or something. Like the whole premise of the movie. And something went wrong. No, it just turns out he was crazy. And he was
too focused. Yeah,
the build-up of this whole movie just led to almost nothing. Like, I guess it was a build-up in my mind that there was some mystery that needed to be solved.
Yeah.
But it was just nothing.
I mean, clearly it was focused on the psychological part and not the actual space part.
Yeah.
I mean, we had probably the movie was 2 hours.
2 hours and 45 minutes, I thought.
Is it? Was it?
That's what I thought.
No, because it started at 2:45 and okay. Well, two something hours. Probably half an hour of Brad Pitt just talking to himself.
Well, yeah,
like through narration.
Yeah, so that's what it seemed like to me. It was like almost a character study into this character, like by himself.
Yeah.
They built up his like calm demeanor and how he doesn't fail psych evals, and he's just like a good astronaut, like the perfect person to send into space. And then his like descent into madness, too, almost when he was on his way to Neptune. And then his realization that he didn't need UFOs like his father did. He liked that there was nothing out there. The reveal that they didn't find anything.
He was like, all right, I'm good. I'm going home.
He's like, oh,
I'm going to bang Liv Tyler.
I can go back to Earth and try to bang my ex-wife.
That was also weird, too. Like, when spoiler, kind of a spoiler, not really, though. When she walked in at the end, she, like, stopped. So, like, do you think that she went and met with him? Or she was like, never mind, you're still crazy? Or,
who knows?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be that he came back and
that Inception style ending where it's like, we're not sure.
Yeah, you have to make it up as you go.
My favorite part about this was the near Earth part of it and what will become of space. And we met a actual Martian in the movie. Someone born on Mars.
Oh,
that woman born on Mars. We met an actual Martian.
I don't remember her name, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't.
The director of the station.
Yeah. Then the fact that the moon is in like kind of open war, but not open war. Like countries aren't warring with each other on Earth, but they're letting pirates fight each other.
It's like Wild West.
Yeah, they're letting pirates fight each other on the moon. So like 1 minute, your guys are operating the mining equipment, and then the pirates come in, kill people, take hostages, and then next they're operating it, getting the resources, and then you got to send your guys back in there to start operating the mining equipment again. Yeah. And just the fact that these guys were just driving from, I guess, that city crater, because I'm assuming that city was in the crater, right?
Yeah.
I think because that's, I have no idea. That's the idea.
You said like the Atlas crater.
Yeah, you would build your stuff inside craters. You're not going to leave it in the open because inside a crater you get all that protection from getting hit by other stuff. And just from driving from a commercial crater to literally a U.S. installation, they were attacked by pirates. And it seemed kind of wild that you would attack
And like not a whole lot of protection either.
Yeah.
Well, they made it seem like that other countries were openly fighting on the moon as well.
Well,
that it wasn't just like
for
pirates
territories
too.
and resources.
It was
Well, yeah.
like an open territory war on
instead
the moon.
of sending your soldiers to go attack them, you would send pirates. Like,
Oh, I didn't get that impression.
No,
that's what
I
it
mean,
sounded like.
okay.
That's what it seemed like to me.
I was just saying, like, it seemed like pirates weren't the only conflict, that it was that the nations on
There was
Earth
a lot
were
of stuff
fighting
in
on
this
the
movie
moon.
that wasn't really explained all that well.
But I
Yeah.
did like that, kind of showing a sneak preview almost, like what could be our political climate in the future, and like where these space programs could lead us to. It was very interesting.
And the commercial flights too, with like Virgin. They showed Virgin.
Right, commercial flights to the moon. So
Yeah.
that was interesting, and that was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie too. Like a movie that just explored those themes in itself would be great.
Yeah.
Without the Brad Pitt going to save his dad and
I just feel like it got a little too, just like it got really weird, but then it didn't do anything with the weird.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like
Right.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to see, like the biological vessel from the Netherlands or whatever that had the crazy monkeys on it. I was like, are these crazy monkeys gonna come back into play? Like maybe something happened out past Neptune that made his dad crazy, and it's like the same thing that happened to these monkeys or something.
No, I think that
and it was just like I was trying to find a mystery
Oh,
in the movie, like I said.
mystery where
And
there really
there
wasn't
just
one.
wasn't anything there. And that's where the movie fell short for me.
I think your synopsis is right in line with mine. What do you think about it?
I liked it all the way up until the point where he gets Tommy Lee Jones in a spacesuit and they're coming back out of the ship and just kind of like the whole like push off and like his dad just floats away and it's just this is how this movie's ending. Then he goes back towards the ship. I'm like, okay, he's gonna like turn the nuke off and like get the ship going somewhere else.
I thought he was gonna take the Lima ship too.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna
like,
use that ship
okay,
to go back
okay.
home.
Oh no, that's not what we're doing. We're just gonna get some forward momentum and jump through this ring back to the Cepheus.
Yeah.
Well, when he was just floating there in space, it kept like accentuating this little light that was on his visor.
Oh,
and it
then
like moved. And I was like, is that an alien? Like,
I think that was supposed to be like the sun shining the light. Like he has like nothing to go. Because he even said the voiceover was like, "Would you go when you have nothing to go for or whatever?" And then it was like, "Oh yeah, the Earth."
I wasn't really listening to the voiceovers.
It was like, "Oh, the Earth," and then the Earth revealed the ship, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll."
I guess let's go back to the
get
ship.
the momentum to get back to my ship. Well, I mean, okay, but like it really just made it seem like, oh shit, there's about to be a UFO.
And I kind of,
and I was like,
you
finally,
were saying,
something's
I kinda
gonna happen.
wanted that, like
Yeah.
I wanted it to get weirder.
Right.
As weird as things get in movies sometimes, especially with Interstellar. I think Interstellar kind of ruined it. It's the same like style of movie, kinda, but then it just never got weird. At least Interstellar got weird. So the ending was like, whoa, super interesting. And this one was just like, okay, spoiler alert, Tommy Lee Jones dies. Brad Pitt goes back home. Boom. Movie's over.
Yeah.
So. See, my preconceived notion going into this movie was that Tommy Lee Jones found aliens and they didn't like humans. So he was going to do something to like, not just like kill all humans, but to like reset human society. So then we, something like that, you know what I mean? Like aliens didn't want to talk to us because they don't like our cultures and maybe how we're divided still, So he wanted to like destroy a society and not necessarily rebuild it himself, but let society rebuild itself better somehow.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of like what I thought.
To get the
the
aliens.
To get the aliens, like,
this man's just putting thought into this movie.
Well, I did,
I mean, it could have went a lot of different ways, and it seems like it ruined the movie almost.
Yeah. Taking it on water.
I could say that this movie
That's where I'm going to go.
could have had a better ending. It was anticlimactic, and it could have a future audience that loves it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's in those like falls into this category
like a
of
space
movies,
odyssey type thing.
a space psychological thriller movie that it's like one of the first of its kind almost. and we might see more of these
Yeah.
type of movies, and it be a popular thing. But because it was interesting, I'll give it that. But it wasn't all the way unsinkable for me because of that last part. So I'll say Seaworthy.
Seaworthy. I think it also so I'll go into mine. I think it also suffers from a lot of these, big series that are going on that do a lot of world building, and so you can only do so much world building in a 2 hour and 15-minute,
Right.
30-minute movie. This didn't have enough world building, but is that really its fault? I don't know. So I'm not going to give it a sinkable. It could, maybe I'll watch it the second time and I'll like it a lot. So I'm going to go with Take It On Water.
I liked the little bit of world building they did. I honestly was able to get it and understand it. Like,
Right.
The only thing I guess in the world I didn't really like was that they built a giant space antenna. I thought it was going to be a space elevator, because that's just like, I'm super into the near space stuff, and the idea the space elevator, it's literally just an elevator goes into space, so you don't need
Yeah.
rockets anymore. Like,
Yeah.
that is proposed to be like the next step that we would do, and
Right.
that would just save so much time, energy, and cost. But then to find out it really wasn't a space elevator, it was a space antenna, I thought was kind of weird that we would actually build a giant, like, I feel like finding aliens is important, or trying to find extraterrestrial stuff is important, but like trying to like master space travel, I feel like is higher up there than that.
Yeah.
That we built a giant antenna, I thought that seemed a little off. But again, the whole movie was about the Lima project and searching for extraterrestrials as well. But just the whole near time realistic space stuff really saved it for me, and I really enjoyed almost all of that aspect of it. And so that really saves it for me up until the point, like I said, where they come out of the spaceship in Neptune,
Right.
and then everything that happens after that, not a fan of. So I would say Seaworthy as well for me.
Okay.
And we're on the same basis there. That world building in the beginning, in the near future, political climate in space,
Yeah.
technology, advancements is
I think
what made the movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. In the beginning of the movie, there was a lot of world building that was pretty cool. There's one part though that I can't really forgive. They just threw in the whole antimatter engine and then said nothing about
That's
it.
true. That's a big deal.
And that was like a huge thing for me, because that's actually a real scientific theory or pursuit that we're trying to do in the real world.
It's not something that we have now.
They just have an antimatter engine. And they say nothing about it. They go through all this other lore and whatever, and then they say nothing about the most important part of the movie.
Right, and then this other
The thing
spaceship
causing the
that doesn't
surges.
have any antimatter, whatever engine propulsion system, just gets to the same place and does the same thing almost.
I couldn't overlook
it. Had really no purpose other than it causing the conflict
surges,
of the
the
movie.
surges,
The
yeah.
surges, yeah. So
But I couldn't overlook that. That was the part to me that made it.
that was its only purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because the whole idea is that once you build an antimatter engine or reactor,
You don't need regular propulsion anymore.
or that like one of the problems we have on Earth now is that we are fighting for resources, and we're able to build a antimatter generator that we can make energy so cheap that like everyone would have energy. We would need like oil or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's bad for business, baby.
I know, but like still, like why would
Lobbyists, baby.
It's probably won't, because we know how humans are, but it's not going to end all conflict. But it's supposed to like reduce the amount of conflict, or at least
Considerably.
change what we're fighting over in the future. Just
A new
because
world order.
we're not fighting over oil anymore.
We'll just
or
fight over
resources.
space cash.
Yeah,
But so that was it for me. That was a huge thing, which I
No,
didn't.
you're right.
To be fair, I didn't bring it up earlier, in the discussion, but that was huge to me that they didn't talk anything about that. Which honestly, I thought it was the most important part of the movie. Is what caused the surges. It was the whole driving force of the entire movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they don't talk about it.
So back to that, they made it sound like Tommy Lee Jones's character was doing something with the engine, or doing something with the engine. That he was doing something on purpose or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it got broke the last time.
Well, right. So that was part of the mystery.
Yeah.
It was like, was he doing something? Was it an accident?
Turns out he wasn't.
Turns out it was just nothing.
It
And that was
wasn't.
what I was
It was-
thinking.
it
I
was-
was
it
waiting
was
for
broke.
him to have his his villain moment.
Maniacal
Yeah, I
master,
can't wait for him
master
to do
plan.
something too.
Right, so
Yeah.
like when they're climbing out of the spaceship and he just like detaches himself and he's like, let me go. And I'm just like, oh, well.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones was going to give him the old rippy stab.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Something like...
Yeah, but that didn't
They
happen.
go back into the ship and try to deactivate the nuke or something. Any like villain moment from Tommy Lee Jones, and there was nothing.
I mean, I was almost expecting him to be at the Cepheus, you know, that he was going to be waiting there for him or something. He somehow snuck back around over there.
Yeah.
No.
And that's why we call it Dad Astra.
Dad Astra. Also, one last thing I had to say was, and I didn't say it earlier, that kind of irked me. The Martian lady was essentially just this plot device to push the plot forward. And it being mostly a movie about like Brad Pitt and him being alone in space for like the last third act, it really felt to me like he should have been the driving force in getting that information to drive the plot forward versus her like, I can get you to the rocket, I can do this for you, your dad's actually insane.
Right. Like
it just seemed like...
So you think it would have been better if Brad Pitt went to her and was like, listen, I need answers, I need you to get me on that ship?
No, I think it would have been better if Brad Pitt like maybe escaped that room, found the information himself, trying to find like where the rocket is, like maybe stumbled on the files or something like that, and then was like, okay, I have to be on that rocket, and goes and does it himself, versus the lady just handing him the information on the silver platter. It wasn't that big of a deal. That's why I didn't say it initially, because I came to my conclusion of
You still want to go with Seaworthy?
Before that, yeah, because of the world building.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. Get you guys next episode. I don't know what we're gonna do, but
Joker.
We have Joker and Gemini Man coming out.
I think we'll probably do Joker next, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
I
See
mean,
you guys
hopefully
next time.
Jokers.
Yeah.